All right, it is 6 o'clock, so we will get this party started. Let the record reflect that all commissioners are present. So the first item on the agenda is public discussion of any item not on the agenda. Not sure if we have any takers, but seeing none, we will move on to case number REZ25-5, which pertains to a portion of land located on East Foster Road, or north of East Foster Road. Madison, is this yours?
Yes, that's correct. One moment. Let me just get it pulled up on my end. Okay, great. Yes, thank you. Madison Conley, Associate Planner. I'm here to present on item 4, East Foster Road, case number REZ25-0005, location north of East Foster Road. And this is an application for rezoning of approximately 2.69 acres of land from high-density, single-family residential with a planned development overlay, OPD RS12 zone, to high-density, single-family residential RS12 zone. On the screen, you can see an aerial image that shows the location of the subject property. This subject property lies just north of East Foster Road and is currently a part of Lot 4 in the Forest Hill Estates subdivision. The adjacent property to the west and land south of East Foster Road are currently vacant and have not yet been subdivided. Then to the east, there is multifamily residential.
I have a question on this map. Can I interrupt you with a question, or you want me to go back?
Sure.
The little piece down next.
Oh, can you speak into the mic, please?
Sorry. The little piece down there, why doesn't this go all the way to Foster Road?
I believe that is part of the other neighboring property, so it's not
So that
part of
gray
Lot 4.
line, the gray line is a parcel or a property?
It's the lot line.
Yeah.
It's the southern boundary of Lot 4.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Then here is a zoning map of the subject property. As you can see, the land located north and east is OPD RS12, and then to the west and south is the RS12 zone. So to start with the background, the subject property and the adjacent property to the west have two different zoning designations, and the rezoning is needed to create a consistent zoning designation for the proposed boundary line adjustment to take place. In 2017, most of the land along East Foster Road was rezoned to OPD RS12 and CO1. Then in 2018, a final plat was approved for Forest Hill Estates subdivision and states that Lot 4 is 9.52 acres and includes a conservation easement. This conservation easement is located on the subject property. In 2024, a major site plan was approved for Lot 5 Forest Hill Estates, which is currently being developed with 19 townhome-style dwellings. Lot 5 is also going through a rezoning and boundary line adjustment as part of a land swap between owners. As you can see on the map on the screen, Lot 4 is outlined in red, and the property to the west is outlined in blue. Subdivision boundaries are shown in purple, and the area proposed to be rezoned is shown in the black dashed line, which is proposed to be part of the adjacent property to the west with the boundary line adjustment application. Then to talk about zoning, the current zone is OPD RS12. The RS12 zone allows for a higher density than other single-family zones, and an OPD was required because of the sensitive areas and the mix of housing types proposed. The proposed zone would be RS12. This zone allows flexibility to household types and non-residential uses. The RS12 zone also allows development at a higher density compared to other single-family zones. This rezoning, combined with the boundary line adjustment, do not change the land uses that are allowed on Lot 4. The table shows the minimum lot size required for the variety of housing types allowed in the RS12 zone. Regardless, the subject property will not allow for development due to the existing conservation easement. Staff is also recommending a condition that no building permit be issued for Lot 4, Forest Hill Estates subdivision until the city approves a boundary line adjustment that conforms to the proposed zoning boundaries. There are two criteria used to review all rezonings. 1, consistency with the comprehensive plan, and 2, compatibility with existing neighborhood. The following slides will summarize staff's analysis of how this proposal meets this criteria. So on this slide, we'll talk about consistency with the comprehensive plan. We have an image from the future land use map from the comprehensive plan IC 2030, and then to the right-hand side, we have the North District's plan future land use map. So a future land use map functions as a conceptual future vision. The flume of the IC 2030 plan and the flume of the North District plan show the subject property appropriate for conservation design and public and private open space. As you can see on these images, that black dashed line is the subject property, and public and private open space are the green space on the IC 2030 future land use map, and then on the North District plan flume, that's the trees, and then the conservation design is that yellow portion. These designations are primarily due to the sensitive features located in this area. Development may occur, but will need to be clustered away and meet the city's sensitive areas ordinance zoning requirements. The RS-12 rezoning is consistent with the land use policy direction of both plans. The existing conservation easement on the subject property will ensure that there is no development, and the remaining portion of Lot 4 will develop according to what was approved in the 2017 rezoning. Then, compatibility with neighborhood character. Like I stated, regardless of the proposed boundary line adjustment and rezoning of the subject property, there will be no development potential due to that conservation easement. The surrounding properties are also zoned RS-12 or OPD RS-12, and Lot 5 Forest Hill Estates is currently developing those 19 townhome-style dwelling units. Overall, there's a mix of different housing types that surround the subject property, like single-family, duplexes, multifamily, and the proposed boundary line adjustment and rezoning would help future development stay consistent with the development patterns in the area. Like I stated, there are environmentally sensitive areas on the subject property. One contains the conservation easement, and the final sensitive areas development plan for Lot 4, Forest Hill Estates, identifies regulated sensitive features, including critical and protected slopes, wetlands, and woodland areas, and wooded areas. Staff recommends approval of REZ 25-0005, a proposal to rezone approximately 2.69 acres of the property located north of East Foster Road from OPD RS-12 zone to RS-12 zone, subject to the following conditions. 1. In consideration of the city's rezoning of the subject property, owners agree that no building permit shall be issued for Lot 4, Forest Hill Estates subdivision until the city approves a boundary line adjustment for the subject property that conforms to the zoning boundaries established by the rezoning ordinance to which this agreement is attached. Additionally, staff did not receive any written correspondence from the public, and there was no good neighbor meeting held for this rezoning. As for next steps, you would presumably have a recommendation for council tonight, then we would schedule council to set the public hearing. As you can see on the slide, there's the anticipated timeline, and with that, that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I have one question. Is there any time period associated with the conservation easement or any realistic probability that it would be removed for any reason?
Not that I'm aware of, and I don't know.
No, that's, it could be removed, I suppose. It would require probably a re-subdivision of the land to get rid of the conservation easement. It would probably be something that would need to come back to this body and to city council.
Right, and in any event, at very least, staff would be involved in that process.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Okay, thank you. Anybody else on the commission have questions for staff?
Was there a reason why there was no public hearing?
It's voluntary. Staff did not recommend it in this case since it's land that regardless of the zoning classification is going to not be developed. It doesn't change what is going to be built in that area. So it's really no change to the community.
I just have a comment on the materials, and that is, you refer continuously to Lot 4 and Lot 5, but on the map, it doesn't say Lot 4 and Lot 5. And after a while...
That's a good point.
After a while, you can sort of figure that out, but it took me a while to figure it out.
Well, I appreciate that comment, and I tried to distinguish that with the colored lines, but next time I can label it.
Well, you knew they were different, but you didn't know which was
which.
Any other questions for staff on this matter? Seeing none, now is the opportunity for the applicant to address the commission.
Hello, I'm Ron Amelon with MMS Consultants. I'm here on behalf of the applicant and just here to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you. I don't have any questions. Does anybody on the commission have questions for the applicant? No?
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Yep, thank you. Seeing that there is nobody else to address the commission, is there a motion on this matter?
I make a motion for approval. Hench?
Second.
Discussion?
It seems very straightforward to me, except for Lot 4 and Lot 5, who wants to figure those out?
I think it's also included in the packet as well, a label.
All right, seeing no discussion, we will go to a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the application passes 7-0. So that brings us to the next, and I believe related matter, which would be case number REZ 5-6, pertaining to a portion of land located south of East Foster Road.
Yep, let me just get my screen set up. Where'd it go? It's right here. Okay, there we are. This one. Or this one.
Back to the beginning. You can share, but you're going to have to go through.
Okay.
this.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate the patience. I'm here to present Madison Conley, Associate Planner, on Item 5, East Foster Road, case number REZ 25-0006, location south of East Foster Road. And this is an application for a rezoning of approximately 2.69 acres of land from high-density single-family residential RS12 zone to high-density single-family residential with a planned development overlay OPD RS12 zone. Did you want to dim the lights?
Yeah.
So here, we have the subject property outlined in that dashed white line. The aerial image shows that this lies just south of East Foster Road, below Lot 5 Forest Hill Estates subdivision. The subject property has not been subdivided and is planned to develop as the stormwater system for the townhome development located just north on Lot 5. Then to the south of the subject property, the land is vacant and unsubdivided. The subject property, the land to the south, and the land to the west are zoned RS12. The properties north are zoned OPD RS12, and then there is RS5 zoning to the east. Okay, here is the background section, and the subject property, as you can see, is located right below Lot 5, which is outlined in red. Both of these properties have different zoning designations, and the rezoning would be needed to create a consistent zoning designation for the proposed boundary line adjustment to occur. Additionally, Lot 4, Forest Hill Estates, is involved in a separate rezoning request that we just discussed and boundary line adjustment as part of a land swap between owners. In 2017, most of the land along East Foster Road was rezoned to OPD RS12 and CO1. In 2018, a final plat was approved for Forest Hill Estates subdivision and states Lot 5 is a total of 6.53 acres and includes a conservation easement as well. Last year, a major site plan for Lot 5 Forest Hill Estates was approved for the development of 5 buildings and 19 dwelling units, which are currently under construction. The major site plan includes the subject property and shows proposed and existing easements. There are also sensitive features found on the subject property. Therefore, the subject property will not provide any additional development potential to Lot 5 Forest Hill Estates. In terms of zoning, like I said, the subject property is RS12, and this zone allows flexibility to household types and non-residential uses. The RS12 zone also allows development at a higher density compared to other single-family zones. The proposed zone, OPD RS12, has the base zone RS12, which allows, like I said, the higher density than other single-family zones, and the OPD was required because of the sensitive areas and the mix of housing types proposed in that area. The rezoning combined with the boundary line adjustment do not change the land uses that have been approved on the 2024 major site plan for Lot 5 Forest Hill Estates. For the rezoning review criteria, there are two criteria standards that staff reviews to. One, consistency with the comprehensive plan, and two, compatibility with existing neighborhood. Here we can see the two future land use maps, one on the left-hand side from the IC 2030 comprehensive plan, and to the right, the North District Plan's future land use map. The flume of the IC 2030 plan and the flume of the North District plan show the subject property, as you can see, outlined in black dashed lines. It's a little hard to see on the North District plan, but it's behind the 5. Both of these plans show the subject property appropriate for conservation design and public and private open space. Once again, the green represents public and private open space, and the orangish represents conservation design. These designations are primarily due to the sensitive features located in this area. Development may occur, but would need to be clustered away and meet the city's sensitive areas ordinance zoning requirements. The proposed OPD RS12 rezoning is consistent with the land use policy direction of both plans. The subject property would become a part of Lot 5 Forest Hill Estates, which clusters residential development and provides a mix of housing in the subdivision. Compatibility with neighborhood character. The surrounding properties to the south and west are vacant, and Lot 5 Forest Hill Estates is under development with 19 townhome-style dwelling units being built. The proposed rezoning and boundary line adjustment would increase the size of Lot 5 and not impact the development that was approved with the OPD plan. The development potential remains unaffected due to the sensitive areas and proposed and existing easements located on the property. For the environmentally sensitive areas, the final sensitive areas development plan for Lot 5 identifies regulated sensitive features, including critical and protected slopes, wetlands, and wooded areas. And there is an existing conservation easement on Lot 5, and the major site plan shows that the subject property will be used to accommodate stormwater for the townhome development that is occurring. Staff recommends approval of REZ 25-0006, a proposal to rezone approximately 2.69 acres of the property located south of East Foster Road from RS12 zone to OPD RS12 zone. With this rezoning, staff did not receive any written correspondence from the public, and there was no good neighbor meeting held for this rezoning. Again, we have next steps. We would make the recommendation for council tonight, and then we will schedule council to set the public hearing. Then on the slide, you can also see the anticipated timeline. And with that, that concludes this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Madison. Are there any questions for staff on this matter?
I'm just curious, since I wasn't here when,
Sure.
I guess that's 2017, a while ago, when the Forest Hill Estates was approved on the future land use map, it seems like that's all conservation,
Design.
yeah.
Correct.
How did that, with the townhomes, how did that work?
Well, because the townhomes, they are a representation of cluster development. That is part of the reason that they were able to be established. In addition, with the sensitive areas final sensitive areas plan, that allowed staff to review the development and ensure that it would meet the requirements. And
Yeah, and Madison's correct. It is clustered development, and most of Lot 5 is a conservation easement. So the rezoning preserved a large portion of the sensitive features and clustered the development along Foster Road.
Cool.
So who owns the conservation easement?
The deed holder, whoever owns Lot 5.
Right, and so they're responsible for taking care of it. But that piece behind Shimmick, the Shimmick Ravine, I think is how it isn't, is now in someone else's hands, right? A nonprofit?
Shimmick Ravine is a bit further west. That's owned by Borough Oak Land Trust.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that ravine is actually west of the school district property.
Right,
Yep.
yep.
Okay, would the applicant like the opportunity to address the commission?
Hi, Ron Amlon, and just here to answer any questions that you might have.
Questions for the applicant?
Easy enough.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Do we have a motion on this matter?
So moved, Hench.
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, we'll go to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And it passes unanimously. Which takes us to item number 6, updates from steering committee members on the comprehensive plan update. And I'm not sure, Ann, was this with you or was this with the members of the commission that are on the steering committee?
I guess I added it to the agenda, and hopefully we can just keep it as a reoccurring item, and as steering committee members have updates, they can share those with the commission. I think everyone was at the meeting last night, except for Chad, but you're going to watch the video. Maybe you've already watched
I
it.
watched it.
So I don't know if there are any other updates that the steering committee has.
I don't have any updates other than right now, the public comment period or listening sessions, whatever they're calling, is going on throughout the community. They have like 5 or 6 scheduled.
And there's one next week at the Iowa City Public Library, Monday night?
Yes. I did want to,
I think it's on my calendar. I have 3 things on my calendar that night, so.
share, if I can find it.
I can try to find it if you want.
I need to stop this, I think. My gosh.
While they're looking, if any commission members have any particular items they want brought up, please just share it with the 3 of us that are on the steering committee, and we can speak in your stead to make sure if there's any issue you want addressed, gets addressed.
Who's on the steering committee?
I was surprised that, I imagined the joint session for the comp plan was going to be more of a discussion than just a reiteration of what he presented previously,
Me too, it surprised me.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be more,
like a work session.
yeah,
Should I share this one?
Yeah.
it was the presentation we'd already seen. Oh,
Yeah.
I guess everybody else hadn't seen it, though.
Some have seen it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was an opportunity to discuss. I don't think there were many questions. So it was a presentation and the opportunity to ask questions.
But he also, I guess.
I don't think they asked if we had questions, because I had 4 things written down in preparation for that, and I would have brought something up if they'd asked. I think they just presented, and that was it.
Yeah, because he said he wanted to kind of wait and get feedback, do the listening sessions and get the public input before.
See,
Oh, I think that was just a miscommunication because, I mean, we did have questions from council members, so it was an opportunity for the commission to ask questions.
You were just being shy last night.
It was a lot. You know, if you hadn't seen it before, I thought it was a lot.
Yeah, it sounds like there will be additional opportunities to ask questions and further presentations after the consultancy gets
Yeah.
public comment.
And I just wanted to share, it's up on the screen, the website.
Okay, great.
So that has the information on the listening sessions that Commissioner Craig just mentioned.
Was anyone able to go to the previous listening sessions?
It was not well attended, yeah. So we're trying to strategize on ways to get the word out.
I have a question, because I want to be appropriate. Now, as steering committee members, should we go to those? Because I don't want to feel like you don't want to monopolize something so other people don't speak up. But if it's not well attended, then I would be happy to go and bring up some of my questions.
Yeah, I mean, if you're welcome to attend, if you'd like to attend a list, there, it's open to everybody.
And bring lots of friends, Mike.
Can you get to this website through the Iowa City website? You know, you
Yeah,
have to
it's-
remember this link.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you Google Iowa City Comprehensive Plan, City of Iowa City Comprehensive Plan, it takes you to our comp plan page, and then there's a link here.
Great, okay.
But I don't know if you can see that. You could also write that down. It's a pretty short link. I can email it out too, if that's helpful.
And like, I haven't seen, I mean, usually there's social media pushes for like any of our surveys and such. I haven't really seen it for the comp plan.
They're out there.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have an event page. Our communications staff has been plugging it through social media, through Facebook and Nextdoor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Well, unless there are any other updates regarding the comprehensive plan,
Do you know if there will be another joint session update, like after the listening sessions, or at any point in the comp plan update process?
Yeah, there will be. I don't think it's after the listening sessions. It's at kind of strategic points in the process. I don't know if the joint meetings are, there's this one here, the draft plan next year. I don't know if you can see that.
Their schedule's posted online. That's where I just clicked this from. So if
Thank
that's
you.
helpful, you can
That
check it
is
out there.
Very helpful, thanks.
okay, so that takes us to item number 7, consideration of meeting minutes from the March 5th, 2025 meeting. Do we have any comments or revisions to the minutes? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve them?
So moved.
Second.
Vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? And minutes are unanimously approved. It takes us to item 8, planning and zoning information. Madison, Ann, any further information for the commission?
At last night's city council meeting, the city council approved that other kind of similar rezoning, the Foster Road St. Anne's rezoning that was also associated with the boundary line adjustment, and the amendments, the text amendments to the form-based code. I think that's all I have.
Great, thank you. Anything else that anybody on the commission wanted to raise with the staff?
Just one thing, for the next meeting, if we have it on May 21st, I will be in Key West, so I won't be here.
Oh, I think it's very for you.
I'm sure it breaks your heart to miss the meeting. All right, well, seeing nothing further, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Wait. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And we are adjourned.
Thank you.